Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am Michelle, and today I'm going to talk to you about the state of Halo overall in 2022. Uh, First off, I want to say I'm going to talk about the Halo TV series from Paramount Plus, and if we have time left, I'm going to talk about the Halo Infinite game, you know, and how both are affecting, sadly for the worst, the state of Halo in nowadays, right? And to start on a happier note, first I'm going to talk about how of the positives, you know. So let's talk about the positives of the series, and the positives of the series are the following. For me, in my personal opinion, I don't consider myself to be a film critic or a TV critic, but I do consider myself to be an experienced Halo fan because I've played the games since the first game. You know, it came out in 2001, and I probably played it for the first time in 2003 or 2004, and then I instantly went on to play Halo 2 and so on, you know, until Halo Infinite. And I read some of the books and I've read some of the comics, uh, and I've played all of the spin offs, for Halo, Spartan Ops, ODST, and so on. So, first off, I want to say that the positives of the series for me are that it seems to have a really big budget, and the special effects are amazing. The design of the planet Reach, the design of the costumes, of the weapons, of the ships, and how it all looks and feels so real, like that I love. All right, and the combat scenes, right, and then come the negatives. Okay, and the negatives are that there are that I can remember off the top of my head. There are only two action scenes. So as of today, May the 7th of 2022, episode 7 is the latest episode that has come out, and I've seen them all as they've been coming out, and I can only think of two action scenes, like real action scenes. The first action scene was in the first episode, like 10 minutes in, when the elites were massacring the rebels, the insurgents. Then the Spartans came down and they massacred the elites in turn, and that's one action scene. And another action scene that I can think of is when when the Covenant invades Eridanus 2 with a considerable force to take the second artifact off of the hands of the UNSC. And I really like those action scenes because I think there you can see what a Spartan is. You can see Master Chief hopping on a Banshee and crashing it on a Phantom. You can see Master Chief taking over the Warthog that had been taken over by a Grunt. You can see all of that, and you can see him fighting elites, jackals, grunts, and eventually a brute comes. People are saying it was Atriox, maybe because of the hammer, but he doesn't have like that, the beard, or I don't know why. Maybe it's just a brute, maybe it's an OP brute or something like that. Maybe it's one of the yellow brutes from the games. I don't know. But that's it. That's it. There's only two action scenes in 7 episodes. They're really, really good action scenes. But aside from that, it's all drama. It's all exposition, conversations, focus on characters that don't exist in the lore, uh, and it's like a space opera with a couple of action scenes that just so happens to have the theme of Halo in it, and it just so happens to occur in the Halo universe. And it's really sad, to investigate and to see that the creators of the series didn't really took the time to play the games, to read the books, to see the source material, to understand it. And with all the money that Paramount has, they could have paid someone, that the best Halo players in the world, they could have paid them to play the campaigns in front of the director, in front of the producers, in front of the developers, so that they could have seen what's Halo is all about. You know, they could have paid someone to explain the books to them, you know, the things that happen, something. They could have done something. But they basically just saw pictures like, okay, this is the art style, these are the armors, these are the factions. Let's just make up a story, you know, let's pull something out of a hat and say that this is Halo because it has like the template, you know, on top of it. And that's kind of what they did. And I don't like that. You know, as a fan of Halo, it hurts me. It hurts me to see that a series that has all this magnanimous production put to make it happen is focusing on things that I don't know who they're supposed to appeal to, because I'm gonna tell you something. They're not supposed to appeal to a true Halo fan, because you know we're like sweeping our focus into the drama of the UNSC and Oni and Dr. Halsey and a council that we've never seen before. And now episode 7 is all about Kwan Ha and her story. And if you guys don't know who Kwan Ha is, I don't blame you. She's an insurrectionist, and her story apparently is more important than the story of Halo itself. You know, and she takes a trip through the desert, and she enters into contact with a tribe of women in the desert, and she drinks some kind of ayahuasca, and she has visions, and she sees Master Chief, and that is the only time in that episode that you see Master Chief. Okay, and if you let me be honest with you, which I am going to be, for me the core of Halo is Master Chief, the Halo rings and the Forerunner artifacts, and the conflict of the Covenant against humanity. And we're not seeing that. We're seeing drama, conversations, people crying, insurrectionists, and you know, the moment the Covenant came in, it is almost safe to say that in the lore, the conflict between the insurrectionists and humanity almost came to a halt, because all of humanity was at stake. All of the lives of humanity were going to be lost. You know, and the Spartans, who started as a project to fend off the insurrectionists and unify humanity, evolved into the last hope of humanity. And now it seems that the insurrectionists and the rebels and a pirate Spartan that doesn't even exist in the lore, with no disrespect to Bokeem Woodbine, like, I love that guy, he's an amazing actor, but his character does not even exist in the lore, but he is at times seems to have more importance than the Master Chief, you know. And that is the state of Halo, alright? Episode 7 was all about the insurrection and rebels and soap opera and drama, and it had nothing to do with Master Chief, the Forerunner artifacts, the Halos, the covenant between the conflict and humanity, you know. It had nothing to do with that, alright? So now, let's move on to Halo Infinite. You know, the positive parts of Halo Infinite is that it's free to play. Well, only the multiplayer mode. If you want to play the campaign, you gotta pay for it, okay? But that's the positive thing that I have to say. And well, of course, it has better graphics than Halo 5, because it's a new generation of consoles, so why wouldn't it, right? So that's a given. So it's not really a positive, it's a given. So now let's move on to the negatives. You know, the developers of Halo Infinite had like 7 years to develop a game, and they delivered the fans an unfinished game after like 7 years since Halo 5 came out until they delivered the game. It was like 7 to 8 years, something like that. And it is sad to see, you know, how little effort came into making the game Halo Infinite, because everybody was through the roof with excitement for Halo Infinite, and when it came out with next to no content and a lot of microtransactions without a battle royale, but they, you know what they gave you? They gave you a grappler for the Spartans, which is physically impossible because they weigh a ton. You tell me which wire is gonna pull a Spartan that weighs tons, you know, like he was Spider-Man or something. But I think since Spider-Man is hip right now, you gotta have a grapple, you know. Fortnite has it, you know. And speaking about Fortnite, the developers of Halo Infinite had years to look upon the experience of Fortnite, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Call of Duty Warzone, and all these games that are free to play, that have a battle pass, and see that they have a solid base game with a lot of constant updates that give you free things like new game modes and whatever, free skins and whatever, and they also have a battle pass and content that you pay for that is only cosmetic, you know. Therefore, I cannot believe that the first season of Halo Infinite lasted 6 months with next to no additional content, no updates, no nothing, and now season 2 has came out with only 2 new maps for multiplayer and 1 new map for arena, and it's gonna be there for other 6 months, you know. So I don't really know what they were aiming for, but it's sad for me to say that the state of Halo nowadays is it is losing its place as at the top of pop culture, of media, of video games. You know, even with Halo 5, all the years it was on, it was at the top. A lot of people played it. Now, next to no people watch it on Twitch or anywhere because it is sad to see. It's just like a cash grab or something. And it really worries me because I, as a fan of Halo, I love Halo. I would love for Halo to be at the top once again, but they are not putting in the work. Neither in the TV series because they don't know the source material and they didn't make a series for the Halo fans. And I don't know what's the purpose of Halo Infinite. You know, they should have just added a battle royale mode to Halo 5, make a big update. You know, a template overhaul of the design and the graphics, whatever, and they should have stick to that. You know, but no, Halo Infinite came out, and it is a disappointment, people. So with this, I leave you. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. Yeah. This is my audio and video podcast. I'm gonna try to keep on going, uploading videos every day. And I am Michelle. Like and subscribe. I'll keep on uploading videos in English and Spanish. So I hope you like them, and I'll be speaking about everything and anything that comes to mind. So I hope you have a great weekend, and see you tomorrow.